Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So this is going to be the last one for the year, and there are two pieces of news here. So first up is the I Am Toph preview pages, though they don't seem to be available anymore. When I first saw this on Amazon, because the preview pages for this book haven't gone up like usual on Edelweiss or anywhere, so the Amazon sample preview is the only one that we have. When I first saw this, I got 12 pages. I got like half the book. Now, it seems like they probably realized that this was way too much of the book and changed it to only be like, as you can see here, basically 3 pages here, the first couple pages of the book. So the only new stuff that we properly get to see now is just the page that has the creators listed on it. And then the first page, which kind of leads into the first proper page of the book. But I've seen up to about page 12, which is halfway through the book, of course. And interestingly, with this one, it's only at about the halfway point of the book when we get to the Blind Bandit. So we get Toph actually meeting the gang. So it means the first half of the book is all the Toph backstory stuff kind of added together, which is kind of cool. It makes it kind of quite different than some of the other characters who were all together kind of mostly from the start. So it's going to make this one, I think, feel quite unique compared to the others. But it also means that I guess they'll have to kind of rush through Toph's involvement in like the full series for the most part. So it'll be interesting to see what does and doesn't get covered with this one. But the big thing with this, the reason I'm highlighting it here, is just that this is the next release for Avatar. It's the first release of 2025, and it's out 1 week from today. So you can see here, January 7th, 2025 is when this book is out. It's only like $5-6. These books, we've had a few of them at this point. This is the 4th one. These are nice for your collection. Apart from the art, there's no kind of new content in them, but I think it's the right type of extra content that we're getting. It looks like we're probably going to get at least one more, because a lot of the marketing around some of the other books is suggesting that Random House will have another little golden book, which is these I Am books. So might be Sokka, maybe they'll do something unique and surprise us. I Am Suki will be kind of nice and again quite interesting and unique, but we'll see what they do. So that's just a reminder about the first release of 2025. Then we get into Legend of Korra Displates. So finally some Korra merch, but the selection isn't great. So the stuff with this is obviously that we have had Avatar The Last Airbender displays for a while now. We've had a bunch of waves of these kind of release over the last kind of year or two that they've been available, to the point where we now have 67 pieces of art, though I think 1 or 2 of them have kind of gone away and they sometimes come back. So there's like 68 or something like that pieces of art. I still would say, before I get into my opinion on the core stuff, I don't think the Avatar selection is super great, even though there are over 60 of them. I think the character variety across all the different kind of styles they have is not super great, but at least it's better than what is available for Korra. So Korra, I don't know precisely when this went up, but for sure it's only been in the last couple of weeks, month or so. They said initially when they launched the Avatar displays that there would be Korra displays. So it's taken a while for this to happen, but it's finally here. So they're launching with 14 pieces of art, and we'll just go through them here because it's really not super exciting. It's all book 1 stuff, though, and especially it's all like 2012 and like pre-release book 1, you know, Korra era promo material. Except this piece of art is newer, though it's one of the special edition covers for the RPG, and it's used on some of the Korra merch that we do get. So it's one of the more well-known pieces. The only sort of fancier ones are the kind of like poster style ones. They're all metal posters, of course, but the ones that are kind of designed to actually be posters rather than just pieces of art. The Republic City Aang one, the Korra Republic City one, the Amon poster over here, Korra on Naga over here. But everything else is just stock art. So this is the Legend of Korra Book 1 poster, which is just to kind of represent Book 1 when it released. I think they did one of these for all of the books of Korra, which is nice. You can get that with and without the logo. depending on what you want. We've already covered these ones. Stock art group shot of most of the characters, but again, no Asami. The most overused piece of stock Korra art that I don't think anyone super cares about anymore because it just has been way overused. It's obviously a much older piece of art, but with some of the new bending graphics in the background. So there's that. Stock Tenzin art. It's a nice piece of Tenzin art, but it is the stock Tenzin image. It's nicely done with the kind of air effects around him. So if you do like Tenzin, this is, I think, a pretty nice one. The Mako one, again, I think has a similar thing. This initial book 1 Mako art is nice, though it is a bit plain and boring. But they've done a good job kind of sprucing it up, I suppose, with the nice fire effects overall. The Bolin one, I think, is a bit plain. Same goes for the kind of normal Korra one. I actually really don't like this one because the water effect takes up so much of the background image that it's almost like, why do you have the bending effect, or why do you have the Republic City backdrop? Because they both sort of like take away from each other. It's not great. And then, yeah, just the Legend of Korra group shot with the logo. Really not good. So straight away you can see no Asami, so they're missing a key character from the main cast. It's obviously very early, and it's like, why? We're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the ending of Korra this month. Why have they led with all early book 1 art as if the show was like only just come out and there's only 1 season released? Like, you have all these other posters and like, where's the rest? Is there no Asami piece of stock art? Where's the book 2, the book 3, the book 4 piece of kind of poster art? And yeah, where's all the other characters? And all that sort of stuff. It's such an odd selection. It makes me really kind of consider, like, who chose this selection of 14? Because they grouped them up into 2 collections, as you can see here. One is Legend of Korra characters, which is just, how many of these is it? Yeah, it's 5 of these that they put in the kind of character selection. And then the key art, which is pretty generic, they just call all this stuff together, which is a bit odd, the way they've grouped it up even. Like, someone at Nickelodeon, Paramount, Avatar Studios had to officially make this happen, because this is the official Korra brand shop. You can see here it's official brand shop, so this had to have official approval somewhere in the process for this stuff to go up. Who sat down and chose these ones specifically from Legend of Korra? And because Korra has ultimately had such little merch, it's also like, we don't really even know what the full scope of the kind of key art library for Korra really is, because most of us are mostly familiar with the book 1 stuff because it's been so overused, and then stuff that's in like the Legend of Korra poster collection. And where's that stuff? Because, you know, the piece of art behind me here, the Rava, Wan, and Korra art from the poster collection, which SDCC poster, I would happily get that as a displate if they offered it, but it's not here. And that's what I'd like to see. It's just like, where's the book 2 stuff? Where's Rava? Where's Wan? Where's Korra in her book 2 outfit? Where's book 4 Korra? Janora? All these other characters. I'm guessing some people would like a Red Lotus if that was potentially available. Kuvira, Unalaq. Where are the rest of the characters? Obviously, I'm guessing they will add more in as time goes on, like they did for Avatar. But this is a pretty poor start, to the point where I wonder like how much these are going to sell, and if they don't sell, will they feel like they have to add more in, even though the fact that they have so few is actually the problem? There's always a bit of a kind of issue about that, of like, will they see sense about like what the situation here is? None of these really interest me overall. Like I said, my favorites are probably just the standard Mako and Tenzin are kind of nice. I do like this piece of art because I have it as the special edition RPG book. I don't really care too much. Probably I'd say this one, the book 1 kind of poster with Amon over the top, is probably the best of the lot. I think there's potential with this style, but I don't think any of it comes together nice enough. The Amon one feels a bit too simple. Not my favorite piece of Korra art here. this is nice-ish, but it's a bit plain. And again, I don't think this is the best piece of Korra stock art, so I do think the selection is quite poor overall. But yeah, that's basically been it. I don't really know when the next big news is going to hit, because we're still quite a few weeks away from the first proper Avatar release of next year, which is going to be the Mako comic, which is in like late February. So it's a couple of weeks into the year before we get to that. Now, thankfully, the Avatar comic, Ashes of the Academy, is only a few weeks after that. And when we're in or around that area, we should hopefully be getting some initial Avatar Studios news, because we'll be on January 30th, exactly a year to go until the Aang movie. And then CinemaCon won't be too far away kind of after that. There's the 20th anniversary of the Avatar franchise in February as well. And there's stuff that I think we would be expecting to happen at some point early-ish in the year. Otherwise, as the months go on, January, February, March, there will probably be some publishing announcements that happen as they fill in the rest of the year, because we have stuff up to about, kind of June, July. We definitely need to get stuff for the second half of 2025, when hopefully publishing will be ramping up. So there is the possibility, absolutely, for some more books. In that, are we getting another Korra comic in 2025, another Avatar comic? What are they going to be? Will there be extra books, Beasts of the Four Nations? All this sort of stuff we'd be kind of wondering about. Not to mention stuff like, say, Awakening of Roku. We have to get a cover for that. We have to get a description for that. But because it's delayed until October, that might be pushed back until a few months into the year. So, I don't know. I'm not expecting too much in the first month of the year, really, until we get to a proper 1 year to go until the movie. So I think news, it'll probably be a light January for us, unless there is some publishing announcements, is my guess. But let me know what your thoughts are for the kind of very early part of next year, as well as what your thoughts are on Korra Displates and the I Am Toph book. One thing I will say about Displates is only buy these when there is a good deal on. The deal on at the moment, new 25, I think gives you 30% off an individual Displate, which is actually a pretty good kind of offer code, and puts it much more into a kind of a reasonable kind of a price point, because I think that it's a quality product. I think I have one over there in the background, and another Oppo one that you've probably seen in other videos. I do like them. It's just I'm very selective about the art that I want on these, which is why I don't have more of them. But definitely use the codes that are available if you do plan to get any of these. So let me know what your thoughts are and all that stuff, but that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.